Hi guys, it's Abby Vlogs and I'm here with another live stream. I am waiting on my friend to get here if he is available tonight. He's not on Discord, which is very odd because he should have been off of work by now. And he should have been almost home. So I'm going to wait a bit. I'm going to mute until he responds. Hi to whoever's watching. I'm currently waiting on a friend of mine. Oh, bye. Okay, so he has 5 minutes left to drive home, so he's gonna be on soon. So I'm just gonna be on here for a little bit. I'm probably gonna like oh, I didn't mean to show you my Discord, but probably gonna draw a bit on here on my tablet. So let me go ahead and grab my Apple Pencil. But first, I gotta see if it's charged because I don't know if it's charged or not. It's at 57. We'll be fine. So, you guys won't be able to see it really, but I'm just gonna sit here and yeah. you're here, Lucas. Yay. I am glad you are here. I am guessing you were a little late because there was traffic, I'm guessing? Or you just got out late? But I'm glad you're here. Ah, okay. That's good. That's good that you grabbed dinner. Uh, if you haven't watched the past couple of live streams, I don't know if you've watched the past couple of live streams, the ones that you weren't in, that you weren't here because you had all your stuff going on. So I don't know if you've watched any of my previous live streams that you weren't here for. Okay, cool. I will I will catch you up on what I've been doing. Um I have been really into the Scream franchise, the Scream movie franchise. I haven't watched them all fully because I've only watched them on YouTube with people reacting to the Screams, and because of that, you can only see bits and pieces because of copyright. So I've been really into the Scream franchise, though I want to watch them all fully because they do. But from what I've heard and what I've seen on TikTok, Scream 7 uses AI to mess with Sydney. But yeah, I've been really into it. So far, I've only seen 1 through 6. I haven't seen 7 yet. Though, hopefully, I will be getting all the DVDs when I go out on Saturday. Speaking of that, next Friday, there will be no stream. There will be no live stream on next Friday, the 3rd. Because I will be probably doing a live stream on Saturday night, which is my birthday, the 4th. I will be doing a stream that night because I'm going to the mall that day. So, yay. That is completely a-okay. I am not going to be streaming next Friday anyways. I will be streaming on that Saturday, the 4th. So if you're free that day, that's fine. If you're not, that's okay as well. So next Saturday, I will be doing a live stream. Oh, that's okay. I don't mind, honestly. Thank you. I can't believe I will be 25 next Saturday. Oh, Yeet. So yeah, I've been really into the Scream franchise. I just really love the franchise. I want to see all the DVD. I want to see all the movies. I want to see them all, like legit all of them. Yeah, I know I'm old. Yeah, you'll be 25 in September. We're gonna be a quarter of a century this year, dude. We're gonna be a quarter of a century. We're old. We're like, still we are. We're so old. Oh, we are old. Ugh. goodness. But, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to catch you up on is that I've been into the Scream franchise and that next Friday there won't be a stream, so yeah. Yeah, yeah, other than that, I think that's about it that I've been up to lately. Yeah. I Now that all that update is out of the way, time to get into the book. We are on the 11th chapter, or 12th chapter. Oh, oh God. We are on chapter 12 of the Harry Potter companion book. We will be getting into chapter 12 and we will be getting into the special feature. So, yeah, let's get right into it. Chapter 12, The Mirror of Erised. Summary. Christmas is on the way and Hogwarts is preparing to celebrate. Harry, Ron, and Hermione are searching for Nicholas Flamel, but so far they have found nothing. As the holidays begin, Harry spends his first real Christmas at Hogwarts with the Weasleys, full of food, fun, and best of all, his first gifts. Among these gifts is a mysterious package containing an invisibility cloak that once belonged to Harry's father. Using this gift, Harry sneaks into the library to look for information about Flamel, but he is interrupted by Filch. Harry slips into an empty classroom where he finds a mysterious mirror that shows him his family. Harry dwells obsessively on the mirror until Professor Dumbledore finds him and shares wisdom about the mirror and dreams. For many readers, this is a favorite chapter in the entire series. The idyllic setting of a cozy castle at Christmas filled with a feast, friends, decorations, and gifts is one of the most magical settings imaginable. There's a particular tone of comfort and joy that permeates the events, even in their most bittersweet moments. This setting lays the scene for the theme of this chapter: family. As readers, we see this theme repeatedly as Harry, Ron, and Dumbledore all experience revelations, both explicit and only hinted at, about their respective families and their places within them. In fact, Harry connects with two families, the Potters and the Weasleys. At the beginning of this chapter, Malfoy mocks Harry for not having a proper family to welcome him home for Christmas, but Harry is not bothered. He's found a home at Hogwarts, and the Weasley brothers have decided to stay for the holidays while their parents visit their older brother Charlie in Romania. Harry has no desire to go back to Privet Drive where he feels unwanted and downtrodden. That's not a home to him. Instead, he and the Weasleys find themselves with the run of the Gryffindor common room, enjoying themselves by the fire. On Christmas Day, Harry is symbolically welcomed into the Weasley family with a traditional sweater knitted by Mrs. Weasley. Molly makes sweaters for all of her children each Christmas, and now she makes one for Harry, whom she comes to regard as something of an adopted son. This this is a kind of gesture. This is a kind gesture from Molly, who has only met Harry once at this point, back at the platform 9 3/4, foreshadowing Harry's eventual official entry into the family by marriage. Harry also finds a link to his own family when he opens a mysterious package containing an invisibility cloak that once belonged to his father, James. Though later this cloak will serve even more important purposes, for now it is Harry's first link to the parents he had so little time with. Harry is less in awe of the cloak's abilities, through the chapter than he is of the fact that it was once his father's. On his first excursion with the heirloom, Harry makes the conscious decision that he wants to experience this connection with his father alone. It won't be his only connection with his family that night as Harry comes across the Mirror of Erised. He's astonished to witness his family gazing back at him in the mirror's reflection, an incredible moment given he hasn't seen any of their faces since he was a baby. In this quiet, heart-wrenching scene, our orphan hero gets to take in the happy, smiling faces of the people who loved him most and were taken from him too soon. He recognizes how he has inherited several of their physical features, their eyes, their hair, their smiles, even their knobbly knees. For once in his life, Harry feels like he knows who he is and that he is a part of a family, a fact that transcends death. Intrigued by this impossible sight, Harry begins obsessing over the mirror he can't eat and thinks of little else for the next few days. The draw of the one thing that he has never had, his family, even if it is just a shadow of their presence, becomes his only thought. That desperate longing is familiar to anyone who has ever had a singular goal or dream. He even stops researching Nicholas Flamel and the Sorcerer's Stone. Ron quickly notices this all-consuming obsession taking hold of his best friend, but after Ron visits the mirror and sees what it can offer, he fails to persuade Harry to shake the thought of it. Ron sees himself and his accolades in the mirror. The Weasley clan is a large and close-knit, but as the youngest son, Ron has always felt overlooked. The Mirror of Erised shows him finally standing out among his brothers by meeting and exceeding their accomplishments. From being made head boy like Bill and to becoming a champion Quidditch captain like Charlie. He even appears cool and confident like Fred and George. This revelation makes him see something Harry does not. Just how dangerous this mirror can be and how poorly those dreams line up with his reality. Unlike Harry, Ron's dreams could become real, and he has surely spent a lot of time thinking about how they could be achieved, but the mirror shows the dream in a superficial light and serves only to highlight the confidence Ron currently lacks. Seeing himself with a cup and a head boy badge doesn't make those achievements real or guarantee that he will be able to overcome his insecurities. To Ron, the mirror is less hope and happiness and more lies and false promises. Harry, not heeding Ron's warning, returns to the mirror to gaze at his family again, but this time a much wiser figure echoes Ron's message in a way that hits home. Dumbledore, who tells Harry it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. This is wisdom we can all learn from, even if we are faced with magical mirrors. Though dreams can be encouraging and necessary, obsessing over them, especially in the way Harry does, can be unhealthy. Dumbledore's associations with the mirror are left to interpretation, though he tells Harry he sees himself with a pair of woolly socks. Harry doesn't believe this is an entirely truthful answer, and Deathly Hallows, which mirrors this book in ring composition, see page 26, which we already passed. We learn that Harry, the wise headmaster gazes back at the family he lost in a series of tragic circumstances. This may explain why he is so gentle with Harry when he warns the Gryffindor student not to go looking for the mirror again. One might also wonder how Dumbledore found the mirror and how much time he too spent looking at his heart's desire. Instead, he advises Harry to focus on the present and imparting the lesson that the best way to honor one's family is to continue their legacy. Now we will go back to the beginning. First mentions is Madame Pince. Beyond the books, how the Mirror of Erised arrived at Hogwarts is a mystery. Many professors over the years brought objects acquired via their travels back to the school, either inquiry of how they worked or as a matter of interest. The Mirror of Erised lived in the Room of Requirement for about a century before Albus Dumbledore removed it and put it to use, with modifications, of course, to help hide the Sorcerer's Stone. Timeline: December. Mid-December, the Weasley twins are punished for enchanting snowballs to hit Quirrell's turban. Harry and the Weasleys stay at Hogwarts for the holidays as Molly and Arthur Weasley are going abroad and Harry doesn't want to return to the misery of Privet Drive. One day before Christmas break, Harry, Ron, and Hermione continue searching for information on Nicholas Flamel in the library, as they have been doing for the better part of 2 weeks. And then there's those pages. Ring theory. Harry's discovery of the Mirror of Erised is directly mirrored in Deathly Hallows with his temptation by the 3 Hollows, particularly the Resurrection Stone. In both instances, Harry longs to be with his parents to experience a life he never knew. Magical theory. Can owls use the Floo network? Would they need the help of a wizard to do so? Wouldn't that be easier than sending them through a massive snowstorm? Timeline. Continued. December. First day of the holidays. Harry and Ron played wizard's chess in the empty common room. It's Harry's first experience with the game. December 25th. Christmas. Morning. Harry finds a number of unexpected presents by his bed, including an invisibility cloak from an anonymous sender with a note that says it once belonged to Harry's father. Midday. An enormous Christmas feast is served in the Great Hall. Afternoon. Harry and the Weasleys have a spectacular snowball fight on the grounds. Night. Using the invisibility cloak, Harry browses the restricted section of the library. A screaming book alerts Filch to Harry's presence. While on the run, Harry finds a mysterious mirror that shows him standing with his parents. December 26th, night. Harry takes Ron to find the mirror. Ron sees himself as head boy and Quidditch captain, the best of all his brothers. December 27th, morning. Ron tries to convince Harry not to return to the mirror. Night. Harry is interrupted by Dumbledore while gazing into the mirror. The headmaster tells him the truth about the Mirror of Erised and notes that it will be relocated. From the podcast, the fact that we know that the cloak of invisibility is passed down by father to son or father to child. It's interesting here that the inheritance cycle is continued, but Dumbledore is the one who gives the cloak to Harry, so I just thought it was really interesting that there is kind of a law of inheritance of objects here in the magical world that Dumbledore seems to be subscribing to. I guess James probably left a cloak for Harry in his will, maybe. Noah said this in episode 5 of the podcast. Did you know the tradition of putting a silver coin, much like the sickle Percy nearly chips his tooth on, into the Christmas pudding dates back to the Victorian era? A dried pea was baked into the dessert, and the family member who discovered it was believed to be blessed with good luck and wealth in the upcoming year. Ring theory. On Harry's first ride on the Hogwarts Express in Chapter 6, he buys many chocolate frogs from the trolley witch to share with Ron. In Chapter 12, he gets a large box from Hermione at Christmas. Ring theory. The moment when Ron sees himself as Quidditch captain in the Mirror of Erised is directly mirrored in Chapter 6 when he laments to Harry that everyone expects me to do as well as the others, but if I do, it's no big deal because they did it first. This directly shows Ron's desire to make a name for himself and his family, to be better than one of his many brothers at anything. Beyond the books, the death of the author's mother is deeply reflected in the meaning behind the Mirror of Erised. In a 2001 interview with the BBC, she stated, "The Mirror of Erised is absolutely entirely drawn from my own experience of losing a parent. 5 more minutes. Please, God, give me 5 more minutes. It will never be enough." Fandom. Prior to the release of Deathly Hallows, many readers were trying to predict what would happen based on the previous books. It was believed by many that Ron would be a key element of the war strategy used in defeating Lord Voldemort, largely in part due to his chess acumen in Book 1. Meanwhile, elsewhere, most Hogwarts students head home for the Christmas holidays, including Draco Malfoy, who probably regales his parents' stories with the famous Harry Potter, providing Father Lucius with details to pass on to the Dark Lord when Voldemort gets his body back a few years later. Beyond the books, as stated by the author in a 2005 joint interview with MuggleNet and the Leaky Cauldron, if Lord Voldemort had discovered the Mirror of Erised, that's what he wants. Consider this. At the beginning of Chapter 12, we learn Fred and George get punished for enchanting snowballs to follow Quirrell around and bounce off the back of his turban. Did you ever think about the fact that Lord Voldemort's face is sticking out the back of Quirrell's head, considering how much control Voldemort had over Quirrell at the time? We are surprised nothing more catastrophic happened to the pair. And now we will get into the special feature. Special feature, Reflections on Erised. The Mirror of Erised is an unusual magical item whose properties allow it to reflect other magical items and entities within the series, potentially inspired by the magic mirrors of fairy tales such as Snow White and Beauty and the Beast. The Mirror of Erised shows a reflection of the soul rather than the body, showing the answer to the question, what does your heart desire? While the item's origins are unknown, it is said to have been stored in the Room of Requirement for about a century before Albus Dumbledore repurposed it in circa 1991 as part of the security apparatus protecting the Sorcerer's Stone. The inscription on its frame, Erised Straw Eru Ot Ub Kafru Ut on Wushi. It is written backwards as if in a reflection and states, I show not your face, but your heart's desire. This small puzzle acts as a mental warm up for the challenges Harry will face toward the end of the book. The backwards name Erised suggests the desires that it shows will be backwards and flawed, a hint at the risk that the mirror can pose. Harry himself experiences some of the perils of the mirror as being offered an image of your heart's desire without any means of gaining it. In reality, is an intoxicating temptation with no reward. For desires like Harry's, there is no way of achieving what you see, and therefore the only way of feeling some sense of fulfillment of that wish is to remain in front of the mirror. This is shown by Harry's desperation to return to the mirror night after night, and Dumbledore's warning of wizards wasting away while gazing at their reflections. At the end of this series, we encounter a small object in the form of the Resurrection Stone. Neither of these items can truly fulfill their desire to return someone from death. Even for those who possess magical abilities, some things cannot be undone. These items bookend the series, acting as a commentary on the nature of grief and the need for people to accept that which they cannot change. By the time Harry gains possession of the Resurrection Stone during what would have been his final year at Hogwarts, the 17-year-old has finally come to terms with this reality. He will still seek to see his family and will fulfill that wish, but this time with the knowledge that it will be temporary and can only bring him some semblance of comfort. As such, the mirror's true magic is a reflection of a different magical creature, the Boggart. Both Boggart and Mirror have the ability to read the subconscious, tapping into a person's innermost thoughts and feelings to display their fears and desires, respectively. While the Boggart is understandably regarded as a monster for the pain and terror it causes, the mirror's dark drawback is hidden behind the seemingly benign, offering a pleasant gift. Both creature and object can stop even a clever wizard in their tracks, caught off guard and emotionally compromised. Such unfortunate wizards can't manage to defend against the power held within these base emotions. This mirroring with Boggart's makes Ron's reaction to the mirror particularly interesting, especially considering his behavior in later books. Ron's excitement at glimpsing his desires quickly fades when his brief encounter with the mirror is interrupted, yet when faced with a Boggart as a third-year student in Professor Lupin's Defense Against the Dark Arts class, Ron's fear of the form it takes, a giant spider, is palpable and lasting, so much so that he freezes in place, which may indicate he feels fear more deeply than he does desire. This is echoed later in the series when his jealousy and paranoia, both of which stem from feelings of low self-esteem within his friend group, become the driving force for his actions. This also shows how intertwined fear and desire are, as Ron's fears will grow to be the lack of fulfillment of the desire he sees in the mirror. He will become prefect, but his popularity will be overshadowed by Harry as it has been by his brothers, and this will become the basis of the fear on which the Horcruxes prey. It is also interesting that the reactions of the mirror and Bogarts can change. Our fears and desires are not fixed within our character, but grow and develop with our understanding of ourselves and the world. They can be situational and fleeting in moments of desperation and clarity, or deep rooted and lasting based on trauma or love. Facing the mirror, or even contemplating what it would show were we to face it, can help us understand ourselves, but it is only ever a tool and cannot be used to achieve our goals. As always, it is our actions that determine who we choose to be. Ultimately, Harry will choose to follow in his parents' footsteps and do his best to make them proud. In understanding the truth about the mirror and his own desire to protect, he will be able to use the mirror as Dumbledore intended in the final chapters of this book. And while the mirror will be referenced again in later books, Harry will no longer feel the pull to look at what it has to offer. He has learned that his desire to see his parents is not held within the mirror, but within himself. So that is it on those two chapters. Well, the chapter and the little side story on that. But yeah. Oh, I almost forgot. Show you the pages. And there are the pages. So yeah, that is all for that. And next stream will probably be on Sunday night. It really all depends on how work is, because work has been like stressful lately. But yeah, I will be back on Sunday night probably. So yeah. Yeah, work can suck. Work can definitely suck. Ugh. But yeah. You sleep well as well, and I will see you Sunday. So have a good night. If you haven't eaten the food that you got yet, then eat and then go to bed. And I will see you Sunday. Bye bye.